how do you deal with the GOAT talk?
At the end of the day, it's cool. I let everybody talk
But
about
you're
it.
aware of it, right?
Yeah.
But before you answer, this is what I like about you is, Michael Jordan takes the same approach. Some other guys, GSP takes the same approach. Don't tell me how great you are. The GOATs don't. You don't have to sell me on you being one of the greatest of all time. Well, the fans and they'll let you know if you're the greatest of all time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, whenever someone hit with the GOAT, I appreciate it. I love it, but I'm only 29. I'm only getting back. I got a lot more time left. Like I ain't trying to sit back and relax because once somebody you saw it, you're with it. You saw this at a college level, at a high school level. You probably saw it. I saw it too. You probably saw that fighting. Like we start telling this one kid or whoever it is, he or she coming up and like, oh, this is the blah blah blah. This they start believing it, and then they're nowhere to be found.
That's
you know
a curse,
what I mean?
man.
So. At the end of the day, I just let them do the talk. If you really are it, they're gonna be talking about it. People are gonna be talking about you. So that's how I believe in. At the end of the day, I can, I let the roses blossom. Let's blossom a bunch, and then I'll smell them.
I dig it. I think what's great is for your son.
Oh yeah.
Like to be, was he 9 or 10?
He's 9 now.
To be 10 or 9, and he's going to school, and I'm sure the kid's like, your dad's fucking Max Holloway?
Yeah.
Dude, he's the GOAT. He's like, that's right, bitch. That's right. He has all the facts.
Yeah. I tell him, really, every time he talk or whatever, I always gotta tell him like, bro, relax.
Calm down.
Like, calm a little bit down, Rush. You be normal. You just like a normal kid. Just like, if this kid punch you in the face, you're not gonna be able to do nothing.
Man.
And I'm not gonna do nothing either.
No,
so
yeah.
You better relax.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, with the GOAT talk, I think it, you cement it, especially with like, the Jose Aldo fights. Like, he was the king at 145, what he did forever. And not only did you beat him once, you beat him twice and kind of destroyed him, And I think with that, it's not like it was a super weathered Jose Aldo, because he went on to do some shit after that.
Yeah.
So it just proves where you're at in the division.
Yeah, Jose is a beast,
Legend.
man. Yeah, he's a beast, and being able to fight. That's the guy that actually motivated me to believe that strikers could be champions. You know what I mean? He was a guy that wrestling was so dominant, even jiu-jitsu, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, whatever, but he was the guy that I watched in WEC, and I was like, bro, if this guy can do it with striking only, I can do it with striking only. And and I got to, they say train to your idols become your rivals, and I was like, was this so real, so surreal to actually be standing across the cage from him, not once, like you said, but twice,
Twice.
And like what you said, like, I want the toughest fights, you know what I mean? Even when I'm out here fighting this and that, I'm not saying, like, that guy should fight that guy.
Yeah.
This guy should fight that guy. Or maybe, like, no, I'll fight you. I'll fight you tomorrow. I don't care what rank you are. I'll fight you. Like, that's just how I am. That's why.
Which is an old school mentality, because now, I think the rankings are good, especially for the fans, but it's also a way for fighters to turn down fights.
Yeah.
Because you were there and we were fighting at the same time where the rankings weren't that big of a deal. So if they toss you a guy, I wasn't like, oh, let me check what ranking he is to make sure I can move up.
Yeah.
So now guys are like, dude, I'm 10. Why am I fighting 11?
Yeah.
Like I want to move ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I get people I want to move ahead. I want to fight this guy. I want to fight that guy. I get it. I understand. But at the end of the day, you still got to fight.
Yeah,
you still got. It took me. I was never ever gonna fight Jose Aldo. He wanted to fight other people. You know what I mean? But it took me a 10-fight win streak with one of them being an interim title that I just so happened fell upon with Anthony Pettis because DC couldn't make the walk on top of a card. I canceled it. Like, it's times like these that people don't understand. Like, okay, yeah, maybe you don't want to fight that guy, but you take it, and then weird stuff like that happen. You never know what happened, and then that guy might set you up with, even like everybody's like, oh, why are you taking the number 6 guy? Why am I not fighting number 5? Blah blah blah. Why am I not fighting this guy, that guy? I'm like, I don't know. UFC gonna give me a guy.
Yeah.
They're gonna send a contract. I sign the contract and we show up. I'm not trying to pick and choose nobody. If you believe you're the best fighter in the world, you show up for fight night.
Anybody. Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, you're taking more of the old school approach where guys now it's all about ranking. They can hide behind it.
It's crazy, and that's the thing I don't understand. Like even with the whole weight thing, everybody even with the pound for pound stuff, like the pound for pound ranking.
Which you're in as well.
I just laugh. I'm like, what is this pound for pound ranking? Some guys not even fighting in another division. Like
it doesn't make any sense.
I'm on a certain place in the division because a certain place on that pound for pound ranking because I went up and lost to a guy who ended up. Who's ended up people talking right now should be the champion of the division.
100%.
So it's like I'm like, guys, like how are other people here and this and that? It's like a pound for pound champion is like, I fight DC. If DC finally came out of retirement, that is
DC,
man on the
come
planet.
get some.
That is man on the planet.
DC,
I want
meet us
it.
at 220.
Yeah,
what do you want to get to?
No,
meet us
heavyweight
at
is
220.
fine. My mindset is, in the old and modern gladiator day, they didn't walk around with a what is that called, a scale, and be like, wait, Brandon, wait, hold up,
Yeah,
step
how
on the
much-
scale.
yeah, like,
Oh,
nah,
you're too heavy for me.
yeah.
I'm out of here. No,
Yeah.
I'll fight you tomorrow. If you think you're the best guy in the world, number one pound for pound guy should be willing to fight anybody in
Yeah,
the
I
world.
love it.
That's what I think. You know,
I
that's
love
what I
it.
be. That's what I think. The pound for pound, like what if Max is the size of Francis?
Yeah, it's
like,
nuts.
That's not. No, don't. I'm not the size of Francis. I never ever will be. But I'll fight him. You know what I mean? You guys scared of him? I'll
I mean,
fight that
I
guy.
guess
Why
I'll
not?
do it,
Yeah.
yeah.
You want to see the number one pound for pound fighter in the world? That's somebody who mindset I think is, and I believe like. You know, like even like what I think what's his name, Khabib.
Khabib's
I
that
think
guy.
Khabib is number one for a reason, because I think he is a guy.
He's
like,
down to do
anyway,
whatever, yeah.
I'll fight you whatever weight. The guy
Yeah.
had a freaking disease before his last fight. Did you see that picture?
Yeah.
Of him?
His
That's
face,
so crazy.
he was
I was
super
like,
thick.
and he
Yeah.
actually made the walk. You know,
Nuts.
and
Killer.
did his thing.
Do you have any interest in going back to 55?
For sure. Like I said, I just told you guys. Anyway, 170 and 185. All these. There's a lot of.
Well,
like,
I'm talking about, I know you're down to fight Francis Ngannou. I'm talking
Yeah.
about for optimal performance, you think 55, like 55 is good?
Yeah, we see what happens. You know, like just imagine this. You know, imagine this. Let me lay this out. I fought. We took the fight with Dustin for the intro. I fought him. The very next fight, April, May, June, July. When did we fight? July. It was July. 3 months later, I was down at 45, back fighting Frankie, and I felt great. You know, like imagine if I had. I think that fight was like, I think so. I had like 2 weeks for that Dustin fight.
damn.
Imagine if
I didn't know that.
I gave myself
A full, like
4
actual
months,
camp.
or even 5 months.
Yeah.
Put a little muscle on the boy and did things a little bit differently. Not even worry about having to, because the back of my mind the whole time is coming back to 45, you know, and not even worry about the 45 and just staying at 55. I think you see a different guy, you know. But it's just.
I agree.
It's just give me time to go there, put on some muscle, get a
used
little
to
bit
it.
stronger,
Yeah,
feel it.
that's
You
a
know
good
what I
point.
mean? And that's just the thing I want people to imagine. Just imagine I did this. You know, not that much people, like you said, knew that I only had 2 months
No, I
ready,
didn't
and
know
then
that,
I was back down at 45 in July fighting Frankie. You
Yeah.
know, so it is what it was, and I think we'd be back there for sure. I mean, there's a lot of interesting fights.
Some big money fights there.
Yeah,
That's just why I asked. It's like,
Yeah,
as far as like
money-
big money fights,
Yeah.
if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And it's also like in 2021, the year we're in with UFC fighters, like to be, not that you care about the GOAT conversation, but it's like the great ones are jumping weight classes.
Yeah. And
It's
the
just what the
legacy.
game is now.
Yeah, exactly what I said. It goes back to a touch of what we say with the pound for pound and stuff. Like, yeah, this is legacy fights. You know, you
Yeah.
want to leave a legacy. I want to leave something that outlives me. You know, all the money stuff is nice. That's the great things that come with it. But the legacy fights is the huge ones. That's the one I want. You know, I want people to talk about me forever, even when I'm long gone.
Yeah. I mean, BJ did it.
Yeah.
You know, guy from your neck of the woods.
Yeah,
BJ
yeah,
did
yeah.
it. People ask me like, oh, who's greater, Max or BJ? It's like you're talking about different time periods.
Yeah, even
Like,
different time periods.
Yeah, it's weird. Even it's like, you know, you took the torch from BJ and
Yeah.
fucking ignited that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Why? Yeah, my thing is
There's
you
no
know,
competition
Yeah,
there.
famous J. Cole. You know, why can't two legends coexist?
Yeah,
Why
100%,
can't?
yeah.
Everybody's like, this guy is this guy, that guy
Yeah.
is that guy. It's like, we can have multiple greatness
Yep.
living at the same time, guys. It's
BJ's
just
from
unfair.
different era.
Yeah,
So
that
there's
too,
no.
yeah.
It's like the LeBron Jordan's thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about two completely different eras.
Play-
They're both great.
Yeah, and the fighting style, even the playing style with the basketball is different right now for
100%.
LeBron than
yeah.
what they
And
did.
same
you know?
same with BJ.
Yeah, with
like
fighting.
his level of competition is just different than yours.
Yeah, it was-
like the
yeah.
guys' skills back then aren't what they are today.
Yeah.
You're beating those guys,
Yeah.
so it's just different, man.
It's just different, you know. We don't have a time machine, this and that. So at the end of the day, let's just keep talking about good stuff. Stop comparing. I,
Agree.
don't know, I hate the comparison. I hate being. And the number one thing that I hated coming up or growing up, it was just always like people being like, oh, he fights like, you know, Pettis. He fights like Aldo. Or he
Yeah.
boxes like somebody else. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be nobody else.
Yeah,
I
let
want
me
to
do
be
my
Max.
thing.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just
Yeah.
know me for me, and I want to be blessed. You know,
Yeah.
so That's the number one thing that always went through my mind.
And do you have a relationship with BJ?
Yeah, not really. Like I'm not really close with him.
Oh,
He
word.
hit me here and there.
I don't know why. I think in Hawaii, like
Yeah,
you guys
we're
are
so
close to each
yeah.
other.
He's in a different island.
Hawaii's
actually.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
He's
bunch of
on
islands.
Yeah, he's on a
I just
different
figured
island.
maybe, you know.
No, yeah, he did his own thing. I do my own thing, and yeah, we just like you said too, different times. You know what I mean? I never met him before.
Oh, really?
That's
weird.
Yeah, I never met him before the UFC. The only time I met him was one time because I was doing a media tour with UFC, and he was doing his media tour with me and him was doing media tour together in Hawaii because he just got into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice.
And I was doing one because I just got the interim title, or not the interim title. I didn't even get the interim title. It was just because they had me doing a media tour with him. So I was like, that's the first time I ever met him. I was like, oh, you know, they think the same thing. It's
I thought you guys were
"You're
like
from Hawaii, you get
boys."
friends.
Yeah, I
was
figured
like,
there's
no.
like no,
First
man.
time meeting him.
I met him because similar thing. UFC was opening a gym in Hawaii, so they sent me and I forget who else. Anthony Pettis, Benson Henderson. They sent us to Hawaii, and of course BJ's on the island. He has ownership in the gym, so we all did press together. And he was the nicest dude, man.
Yeah,
he was great. And I was coming off a loss, and there was another UFC legend on the bus. And CT clearly set in with this guy because he kept telling us the same story over and over.
Yeah.
And we, like me and BJ would look at each other, I'm like, did he not just tell that fucking story? BJ's like, yeah, he did. And so he gets off the bus, and I just lost a fight, and BJ goes, hey, man, if you don't start moving your head, you end up like that. I was like, yeah, you ain't lying, man. But he's great. Yeah, I love BJ,
That's
man.
awesome.
Yeah, I love him. You know, it's just weird how the different dynamics of the divisions and guys are jumping weight classes and like Kamaru, you know, everyone's talking about him at 170. And to go back to that, GOAT talk, someone asked me on the show, I do What's Up, asked me, do you think Kamaru could be considered the GOAT at 170? I'm like, you got to slow your jets a little bit because the GSP defended the belt, I think, 12 times. But again, and this is my argument with you and whoever, Jose, BJ, whoever they want to say, the level of fighters that you're beating now, the level's so much higher than what they were fighting. And it's not their fault. It's just the game's evolved. You know what I'm saying? Like Calvin Kattar would be champ back in fucking 2001. He'd own everybody. He'd dominate. But it's just, he's ranked 6 now, and you just beat his ass.
It's just different times, you know what I mean? It's just different times, what you said. Like, it's crazy, Actually, talking about that, though, the GOAT talk or whatever, even like Kamaru Usman, since Izzy's dropping up to 205, what if Kamaru jump up to 185?
He said he's down. He
crazy.
said as long as they don't make me fight Izzy, like if Izzy's just gonna leave, I'm 100% down to fight at 185.
That sucks because him and Izzy would be a huge
they're
fight,
boys.
You know what I mean?
And he was like, he'd rather see 3 African champions. So he's thinking Francis, Izzy, and him, than them fight each other.
Yeah, I respect that. I respect that a lot. But at the end of the day, even if you're my best friend, if we're fighting, we got you signing that contract, bro. We fighting.
Yeah, we're fighting.
Yeah, we fight. We fight it. It is what it is. I told him, all jokes aside, I told my mom, don't ever fight a UFC contract. Don't ever sign it with my name across. I'll fight you, mom.
I'm gonna fuck you up, mom. Hate to say it, but yeah.